Aloha and welcome everyone to the Hierogamic Creation Secrets to Exponential Wealth Creation Masterclass. My name is Lucas Diamond,
I'm Saskia Diamond.
and we're so happy to be here with you today. We're beaming love from Uluwatu, Bali. We live in Hawaii, but we love to take some time to explore. Europe and Bali are our travel destinations. Hawaii is our rooting spot, but we're all on Earth. We're all on this beautiful planet together. No matter where we are, we're interconnected. We all feel into the same collective pulsations. We're connected to the planet emotionally, energetically, and it's the year for an incredible breakthrough for us all. There's a great opportunity this year we want to speak about and share some keys to really align to what we call your highest timeline, your heroic probability, the path in which your deepest fulfillment comes to fruition, your joy, your purpose, your legacy, your prosperity, your true love, divine union really anchors in. And specifically, the legacy of your soul, that which you're here to really leave on this planet, that will fulfill you on the deepest level. It's the year to have the breakthrough to clarify, anchor, and actualize that. And we're just so excited. One thing that is really important to be aware of is that there has been an underlying frequency of energetic capping, attack, and even uh, misery attempting to surround humanity to keep people in states of lack and disconnection and frustration, to stop divine unions from coming together and thriving, a lot of sexual distortion and misery that holds people back from the highest purpose and wholeness, prosperity and freedom. And so the reality we have seen working with a lot of people and exploring the collective is that many people are too numb to feel the extent to this truth and how it's affected us. And this numbing shield is in the way of our potential, of our authority and our certitude and our power in the world. And so oftentimes as we dissolve the numbing shield and become awake to the truth of what's happening on the planet, what's happened, how that impacts us, and we create our path of energetic, spiritual, sexual, financial sovereignty and freedom, there's a series of emotions we go through and alchemize this whole spectrum. And when we don't do that work, it can lead to confusion, stagnation, feeling of restlessness, or being stuck in between phases. And so we're here to invite and encourage the next level of breakthrough to you, and for you to just have a self-assessment, to scan your field, your life, your consciousness, to see if there's any place in your life that you feel you've been procrastinating, any place that feels like it's not moving, any place where you feel a sense of lack of faith or doubt. um, we want to support a complete breakthrough for evolutionary leaders like yourself. And if you're here listening, you're either um, playing the role of helping guide and lead, inspire others, or that's the potential in you that's ready to be awakened and called forth to the next level according to your true purpose, and to really guide people not only to what they think they want on an egoic level, but to the true resting point, home, fulfillment of their soul. And so this is the year for that spiritual, sexual, financial, sovereignty, wholeness, prosperity. And we're going to share with you some keys on this journey. And before we do, we love to set the space whenever we teach together. So I'm going to invite you into a couple minutes where we can just anchor into our heart and arrive together and invite yourself to fully show up. So I'm going to invite you to put away all distractions, take out your notes, and give yourself this time to really receive and really come into your highest path. So inviting you now to close your eyes, calling all of yourself to yourself, letting go of any of the pressure rush, hustle, concerns, and creating a space for you to receive. Receive divine wisdom, messages, intuition from your own higher self, and allow a momentum from the deepest place of stillness and being within you to attune you to your highest path. Visualizing a platform of light below us, a temple of light surrounding us, and a pillar of light anchoring down through our temple space as we deepen and root into the earth. We open our heart and invite our higher selves to anchor a pillar of light through our physical bodies and into the earth. And if you give your own higher power, God, source, spirit, divine presence, whatever you call it, and your own higher self permission to work on you on all levels for your highest and best, I invite you to say yes. And if you give yourself permission to release what you're here to release today and receive what you're here to receive, I also invite you to say yes. We ask all interferences, distortions, trackers, remote viewers to be removed from this temple space now, as we attune to the hierogamic secrets of exponential wealth creation. Open our hearts to receive what we're here to receive.
So call in the divine presence of Holy Mother, Holy Father, as well as the Holy Child, our own higher self, as a Holy Trinity, to enter this temple space. And we want to connect through our heart to this Holy Trinity. Just taking some deep breaths and sinking into the deepest still point in your heart. Allowing yourself to really descend from the mind into the body, into the heart, coming home into your divine inner sanctuary of peace. And the deep connection to your higher self, just bridging this through your heart, to the heart of God, to your higher self. Just with every breath, allowing yourself to sink deeper into this inner sanctuary where all of your wisdom, all of your alignment, and your fulfillment is sourced from. We're also going to activate the high heart between the heart and throat chakra, the thymus gland, which is our high heart devotional flame of purity, the part of us that trusts God. God's divine will is one and the same as our deepest and truest soul desires. So just allow yourself to connect to this inner gnosis that is safe to trust in the divine intelligence that is benevolently and in your highest and best, and the highest and best of all, orchestrating everything in the highest divine alignment, magnetizing you back to your highest timeline. Just allow yourself to surrender and feel this deep devotion and purity and this inner flame in your heart. It's like your inner soul fire that is ready, that is reaching its tipping point to create a breakthrough to your highest timeline in all life areas, that has the faith and trust that it's possible, that remembers your inner worthiness, your eternal, unconditional, non-performance-based worthiness for who you are as a holy child of God, as the eternal beloved of the divine. Just feeling this pure flame in you. Just activate this beautiful, pristine, devotional architecture of, just giving it up to God and putting God on the throne of your heart. Becoming a full vessel, just allowing this purity to guide you, to orchestrate you, and feel how this frequency is the frequency of the Holy Spirit that surrounds you, that guides you, and orchestrates you to feel the alignment of what is in your highest and best.
Now deciding to be on your highest path and to reach your highest potential in this lifetime. Really choosing to be here, really choosing to answer the call of your soul, to answer the call of your higher self, God's source, what you are here to do, to fulfill it, and to reach your highest potential. If you align to that, you can say yes and root your energy back into your body, taking your time. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. All right. So we're going to share a deeper activation with you a little bit after we offer some teaching. We want to start by saying this path, it's a path of inner union, first and foremost, between ourself and God's source. And when Saskia and I use the word God, we're referring to that first source consciousness, that original loving intelligence that has created all things and is the love and truth that puts everything together and is guiding life forward. And we're not referring to any particular religion. I know a lot of religions use that word to associate with a masculine archetype who punishes, and that's not what we're referring to. There are many overlays, false gods, dark father, dark mother overlays that get embedded in and distort organized religions, many of them. And so we have to be aware of that. And we get the opportunity to connect direct from our heart and soul to the highest power of creation. And so, yes, you can absolutely turn your video on. We'd love to see your beautiful faces. And Saskia and I are innately mystics. I would say Saskia is an oracle. She has the gift of sight and prophecy, and she's an incredible quantum healer. I've always been a mystic for the last 24 years, actually since I was a child, but really I had an awakening that really drew me to the spiritual path. And at the same time, part of my dharma was in the business realm. I started off when I was 22 writing business plans for many big entrepreneurs, leaders, and gurus. Grandmaster Mantak Chia, founder of Modern Day Mystery School, founder of Theta Healing, and a variety of other entrepreneurs. Our plans raised millions of dollars, and that was part of my left brain path when I was really in the structure of helping the vision of leaders be architected and actualized and articulated into form. And so that was one of my gifts. And then I moved over to quantum healing, theta healing, and became a master of theta healing, started to train other healers, and then realized there was something missing. That took me on a journey through 33 countries to try and find the different missing components of a true path of liberation and freedom and spiritual mastery and life mastery. And I started developing my own system, my own methods, my own methodologies, and started coaching entrepreneurs. And then it took me to the realization that I had it all except for my beloved. And I went through a process of deep inquiry to be willing to realize I had numbing shields around my heart that were keeping me from feeling the pain of not living in integrity with my soul fully in all ways. And then being so willing to surrender all of that was fulfilling my inner voids, filling my inner voids up, that I would face my own restlessness and unworthiness and pain and bring the spirit of God's source into it. And that's the work that prepared me for Saskia, who I would say is a master of the devotional heart and sourcing from God's source. Everything that we want to get from others, from your current or your future beloved, or from having infinite overflow, surplus, and financial well-being, or whatever your heart's desires are, there's a way to begin to source that through your devotional attunement and alignment that makes you more magnetic to that. And so I'm really proud of Saskia, because before we met, she had her breakthrough moment where when she hit her rock bottom, she gave the last control levers to her source and did the foundational work for my spirit to feel and attune to that and then follow suit. And often, it's not always, but often it's the divine feminine who has this devotional breakthrough first that really helps the divine masculine come into that attunement. So we met each other 4 years ago. We knew who we were right away. We got married within 6 days, and it's just been a journey of initiation and powerful blessing ever since. The one thing that what we call a divine union partnership has is there's a essence of still point, peace, paradise, grace, just this transcension of the time and space pressure into an eternal abode of serenity. And that's always been between us. And at the same time, we've never been so attacked as when we first met by not only energetic occult forces, but it came through our family members, it came through some of our friends who had leaks. The power of love, true love, is so powerful that there are forces on this planet that feed off fear, that are disconnected from God's source, that really don't like when divine unions come together, and especially when divine unions start leaving their legacy and start empowering and teaching others. We got hit. We learned to seal up the fields. We learned to track multidimensionally. We used our skill set, her being a quantum fieldwork facilitator and a multidimensional healer myself. We used our skill set to have the most amazing breakthroughs, to seal up all the falls of consciousness that we tracked through the ages, until we finally just sealed the field and then made the initiation to claim our power back from any force that had ever dominated us or put a capping over us. And this led to just living in our dream home in Hawaii, and the dream car. So it's like the external started to reflect the restoration that we were doing spiritually, internally. And we just created a life of great ease and freedom. And I think that ease and freedom came because we were willing to do this work. We were willing to restore the inner architecture. And finally, science is catching up to what mystics have always known, which is that the external is an outpicturing of the internal. There's a foundational vibrational structure that makes up everything that you can see and touch and feel. And when we as co-creators learn to become the spiritual, emotional, and mental equivalent to the original blueprint, not to that which our ego desires as a vision, but the true spiritual blueprint that is the fundamental original Edenic templates of our highest reality. When we really restore that and track all the nuanced anti-hierogamic technologies and attacks that have distorted that, and then do a restoration rehabilitation process, it allows the inner blueprint to be restored, and then the alignment happens in the external. So it's been really beautiful what Saskia and I have been able to do, and we've supported many couples to come through this. We've supported many individuals to find their union and then go through the initiations of being on union. And finally, we've reached the time of legacy. It's the legacy year 2024. Now that many couples have come together, it's time to anchor this in. And even if you haven't yet met your divine union partner in the physical, anchoring in your legacy and your mission is what makes you the most magnetic. It's the combination of the inner union work and being in mission alignment and taking that action, and also restoring the original sexual blueprint of your wholeness field that will make you most magnetic to your partner. And so I'm going to let Saskia share the beauty of what this year can bring, what's so amazing about this year, and how we can really prepare and do the work to align to our highest timeline this year.
Yes, so as some of you know, we are finally in not only the year of the dragon, but it is the year of the Emerald Dragon prophecy. And this is truly the year where, even on a measurable level, the dragon ley lines are coming online fully on our planet. These are some of the widest, most powerfully charged electromagnetic ley lines that flow to the earth. And coincidentally, here in Bali, it's actually a convergence point between the masculine and feminine dragon ley lines. So it's no coincidence that we happen to be here in this moment while we are preparing for this huge legacy year of 2024, because 2024 is not only the year of these powerful dragon ley lines on our planet resurrecting themselves, that really are, the dragons are our creation power. It's the aspects of our own soul that are the co-creators with the divine of the heaven on earth. And not only the co-creators, but they actually are like the founders of the architects, the founders, the builders, and the guardians of these heavenly God worlds. And this is obviously not just happening with the earth, it's happening inside of us. We are receiving such high amounts of solar blasts to this absolutely perfectly divinely orchestrated intelligence that is constantly upgrading our DNA. And as many of you have noticed, it's like, reaching this acceleration that is beyond anything. It's unprecedented. And since the year 2024, that also started off with a major blast of one of the, I think, the highest measurable X-class solar flares, we've just been catapulted, into this absolute choice point and this absolute opportunity for us to choose our divine union legacy. And this is also obviously like it's awakening our DNA from the inside out, helping us remember, what is our truest and deepest soul purpose? Like, what were we born to do in this lifetime? And ultimately, it is the culmination for many, for all the lifetimes of basically our unique soul's piece. It's like a unique puzzle piece that is something that only our soul carries, a specific gift, a specific legacy that we're here to leave. And it is, a piece, a divinely orchestrated alignment for the heaven on earth prophecy, that it's like this divine master plan that is about to unfold in this year 2024. Because what is ultimately happening is that our inner dragon aspects inside of us on a soul level are absolute primordial divine feminine creation dragon aspects, as well as our divine masculine just guardian aspects of like what is sacred, these protector aspects that are unified with their power of eternal victory. They are awakening from stasis. It's like pieces that are dormant within us, that within our light body, that are being awakened from this deep slumber. But it's also, those pieces have been laid dormant in specific parts of the world, in specific, sometimes in specific water bodies. Some of these divine feminine aurora pieces can get awakened, or in, just landscapes, because this is where the dragons are fully one with our planet. And so it's like a huge awakening that is occurring to us and the planet. And we are just given this huge choice point. We're riding this incredible wave that is in our favor for us to awaken, these deepest co-creational soul aspects. and also regain the full clarity, the full remembrance of our soul's legacy. And this is, what we call divine union legacy, because it is born from this deep inner divine union between our soul and God, of this deeper and deeper unification. And yes, there's like just different aspects that we have identified that are necessary to build this soul-aligned wealth. So this is a huge aspect of the dragon restoration, of this emerald dragon prophecy, because the dragons are also, they've in so many cultures even been connected to wealth. And this is like a huge piece that, they're connected to our creation power, to our sexuality, that is from a place of purity, from a sanctified sexuality, a whole new level that we're remembering to embody, that helps us generate and build infinite wealth in our body. So we can then fuel like this inner wealth. It will basically mirror itself in our outer wealth as well. And this unlocks like a wealth that we haven't been able to access before, a wealth that humanity has been, capped. There's been frequency fences around our planet and also inside of our bodies that got inserted through trauma, through the different cataclysmic falls of consciousness. Specifically, Lemuria and Atlantis were two major timelines that need to be, looked at, and we have to do certain soul retrievals from these timelines to claim this soul power back, this remembrance of our purity, our innocence, our worthiness, to help us really generate this true, lasting, organic, wealth that is unlimited. It has an unlimited potential, an exponential potential of just building and building and building without being siphoned, without being capped and being suppressed. And there's a way, there is an organic and pure way that we are remembering now to these Aurora dragon guardians that are, just channeling down these wisdom teachings, these ancient wisdom teachings through our hearts back, to remember how to embody this, how to embody this in our daily lives, and give us these practices to return back to our natural state of wealth, of prosperity, inside and outside. And when, we can do this, obviously, between our soul and God on an energetic level, and also to physical practices and quantum clearings and upgrades. But there's also, especially for couples that learn to do this, a way to then amplify and amplify this serenity and this inner wealth even more. So, this, what we're speaking of is not only for couples, it is for all individuals, because obviously it has to first start inside of us. And when we generate this inner wealth and choose our soul's divine union legacy path, even if we're not unified yet with our true beloved, it is the most powerful magnetism imaginable. You choosing your highest timeline, your legacy, and your inner divine union, because your legacy is more than just, a part of, your mission or your next soul aligned offering. It is your legacy, is your greatest soul's life's work. And almost in this, context right now, in this year, we can really say it is like the work of lifetimes. It is like your eternal soul's legacy that your soul is here to leave on this planet, to to basically offer your peace and your unique gift to restore heaven on earth back. And therefore, you choosing this is really stepping into this heaven on earth, or also Aurora Earth timeline. And there, on that timeline, you are unified with your eternal true beloved. So this is, for those who already are in their mission, but are ready to upgrade to their absolute highest soul's legacy path, or those who are calling in their beloved. Like, this is a major upgrade right now that is happening to really come onto this highest timeline in all the ways, for both for union and your mission template.
And The truth of the matter is that we live in a multidimensional realm. Science, metaphysics has proven that we exist on different dimensions. And so from a space of quantum healing, what I want to share with any of you who are more new to some of this languaging or haven't gone deep into quantum healing yet, is that you have an incarnate identity that is made up of what you've learned in this life, from your parents, from society, from all of your experiences. And then as we awaken, we connect to our soul, this eternal part of us that has imprints, memories, and wisdom from beyond this timeline, beyond this life. We start to have memories and feelings and new gifts and abilities come online. And often when someone has a soul remembrance, suddenly they can do something that they could do in another life, and that gift comes through them again. And then as we progress, we realize that we also exist on higher dimensions than even the soul level dimensional levels. We have an oversoul, and our oversoul has even more vast awareness and knowledge, and also higher dimensional karmic resolution to clear. And then we get to an avatar self, which is a higher dimensional level, the highest level of this galaxy. And then when we transcend beyond it, we get to our Rishik self. And the Rishik self is equated with, when Saskia is mentioning the dragons, that our dragon aspect. From one perspective, I know some people who are new to this may have hard time to really digest, well, I have a dragon aspect. And so I would invite you to consider that you have an aspect of you that exists beyond time and space, that is in the God worlds and the higher realms beyond the duality of this particular galaxy. And that aspect of you can anchor in creation codes from that realm into your incarnate identity consciousness to re-entrain you out of the stress and the lack and the limitation and the unworthiness that has been entrained into you from this world, and often purposefully, so that you can restore an original template and utilize multidimensional gifts to create your highest life, not from a blueprint of what you think you want, but from the original template of what is the highest possibility. And your Rishik self, aka your dragon aspect, contains so much power and liberation. You don't even have to enter into a battle anymore. You don't have to be in a good versus evil type of battle. You transcend that through the spirit of eternal victory, which we'll get into now, as we share with you the different aspects of the triple divine feminine and triple divine masculine.
I just wanted to, before we do that, mention, what is really important this year to understand is that there's a major curse. What I also have been seeing in the field is an emerald and ruby ray reversal curse that is being lifted. That is basically the lifting of this wealth reversal that we have experienced on this planet for thousands of years, where basically those who have been holding like a corruption, they basically had corrupted hearts or lack of integrity, or have been abusing their power to control. They have been using black magic to hold humanity enslaved and basically to control the wealth on our planet. And now there is, an organic wealth restoration from purity that is being remembered again. Not only remembered, but it's like allowing those who are in true service and devotion to now really break through this capping and generate this massive amount of wealth that has been, to a certain level blocked off from us. So there's like a massive wealth transfer that is going to occur within the next few years. And it's starting in this year that we are reclaiming this ability to generate massive wealth, like unprecedented massive wealth from purity. But what I want to mention is, that it does take us, we have to take the responsibility to actually claim this divine inheritance back for ourselves, first within and then without. It's not something that can just happen as long as we, for example, still run programs of unworthiness. So it does take our basically our co-creation to really claim this back for ourselves and to do this inner work of, you know, breaking through all these different layers and blocks that have been inserted to so many timelines. It's just that right now there's, you know, the timing, the alignment is in the absolute highest favor for this to happen, for us to actually remember the keys that will liberate us and will really create this massive wealth transfer that is going to change the world in the most unprecedented ways, because these heaven on earth legacy projects, they're all divinely orchestrated, and there will be a synergy, an absolute synergy of different pillars and tribes of humanity that will come together and just form, you know, distinct pillars of this heaven on earth architecture. And so it's the most exciting time to be alive and to be part of this restoration process, that's not just as a witness, but as a co-creator.
So for you to step into your full role, we want to support you in really making a powerful decision today for your leadership, because a huge piece to anchoring your legacy is deciding, hey, I'm going to reach those I'm meant to serve in whatever way I'm meant to. And there's a visionary leadership, luminary leadership inside each of us that we want to support with an activation. And as well as invite you to realize that lasting wealth and fulfillment is coming from your inner hierogamic embodiment, your inner union embodiment, meaning you are unifying your soul with the divine, but you're also unifying your soul with your oversoul, with your avatar, your Rishik self, up the dimensional levels. You're restoring the pillarship of your selfhood. You're not just here, this little incarnate identity. This is the integration station for all that you are on all of those timelines to integrate into one unified masterful consciousness and to pave a path of integrated life mastery. And that part of this process is really integrating the three divine feminine and divine masculine archetypes in a way that's going to allow you to be a lot more impactful and successful to build wealth.
Yes, because that's like one of our core message and keys for you today, is that true lasting wealth creation is a hierogamic process. It takes a masculine, divine masculine and a divine feminine approach. And it not only that, it's not just hierogamic, but it's multidimensional. So even within our divine masculine and our divine feminine, we have different aspects that are needed to be, you know, just awakened or activated and also merged together in synergy, so they can really allow us to reclaim and co-create wealth on a multidimensional level. So we have identified for lasting wealth creation, for the triple divine feminine aspects, we have, you know, the oracle, the queen, and then the divine feminine aurora dragon aspect. So I'm going to just briefly share what we mean by this. So for the divine feminine oracle, you know, the art master of the oracle is absolutely important to, you know, be able to not only scan for certain blocks in our field on an intuitive level, but also to, you know, perform soul retrievals from ancient timelines where parts of our soul got frozen and stuck. And to reclaim these soul parts back, we need to really be able to use this oracle gift of the divine feminine, this intuition and just deep, you know, kind of connection to feel truth. Then, you know, so this is like kind of correlating also to the three dantians, you know, the first dantian in the crown pineal gland, the second dantian is in the heart and solar plexus, which is, you know, the queen aspect where we really have to activate our devotion, like this purity to actually serve, like this devotional service and true authentic care and submission to the divine will, because that is truly what basically makes us king or queen, is like this submission to the divine will, to actually be stewards and guardians of the divine will, and to just kind of have a growing field where it's like this jurisdiction of heaven on earth is present in our field, that is, you know, allowing us to expand this beautiful devotional service for the highest and best of all. So there's no power abuse or, you know, any other motives other than serving life, serving creation. And another aspect is really this mastery of this divine union alchemy. It's also like mastery over our emotions. That is all part of like the queen aspect that we are going to be integrating in this wealth creation. And one of the most powerful one that we have just been also speaking on is the feminine aurora dragon aspect, because this really is like the magic of our divine co-creation power. It's the remembrance of our divinity, our infinite worthiness. And, you know, there's like some absolute life-changing restoration process for that, which is the aurora pearl activation, which is really the eternal remembrance of our infinite and unconditional non-performance-based worthiness, which is our divinity. And that is something where there's been so many layers of frequency fences placed around us. Like that is like one of the greatest breakthroughs that we can have, is like reconnecting back with this infinite worthiness and this purity. That is where this co-creation power is derived from. And a huge aspect of this feminine dragon power, this co-creation power, is also the divine union, sacred sexuality, this sanctified sexuality from a place of devotional purity and also remembrance of our divinity. It's a whole new form of sexuality that I've never seen in this specific. It's like a reshik, sanctified sexuality that is not what has so far been anchored on our planet to, you know, tantric practices. It's like going in that direction, but it's like much deeper. It's a whole new level of purity and creation power that is only now starting to be remembered and anchored on this planet back again. Or it's like an ancient, basically, remembrance that is coming back to us, that is really helping us wake up from the spell that humanity has been under of practicing sexuality from a certain, still a level of disconnection from this divinity and this purity that has been, you know, basically perpetuating lack. And so it's a huge, massive, life-changing upgrade that is being remembered right now.
So for the triple divine masculine, it's the Magi, the King, and the Solar Guardian or Solar Dragon. And so you're, even if you are in a female body, you still have these gifts inside that you can call forth from your higher dimensional masculine, these different abilities that can support you in your wealth creation this year. So the Magi is what you can utilize the gift to track for your specific soul legacy blueprint. You can really anchor down and attune to what it is and articulate that into form. Your inner king can stand in a structure of leadership where you hold the structure of a future culture and you support and invite others into that space. You hold not only the vision, but the actual spiritual energetic architecture of that which we are building together. And then you use your heart power, your courage to help expand other people's consciousness and inspire them into their aligned leadership as well. And then your guardian self or your masculine solar dragon has this incredible pillar of eternal victory that can hold a space that sanctifies the field, that understands the power of command, the divine law that overrides all other law. So no matter what type of individuals, governments, or occult forces, false gods have created laws that have put a claim on you, your solar dragon self has already overridden it and created a field in which you are in dominion with your higher self, and you are anchoring the blueprint from the God worlds down, or the higher dimensions down, and you are an architect now. You are architecting a new culture, a new way of being on this planet, and creating the structures that are going to be the foundation for the new civilizations that are going to come in the next few hundred years. You're going to bring forth the seeds of what is going to be taught in schools a few hundred years down the line, what's going to be commonplace in culture. You are a cultural architect. You are a Aurora Earth architect. And so turning on these triple divine masculine and feminine skill sets is part of what we've been cultivating in us and our clients that we love to share. And it's crucial to really anchoring your legacy in a way that is going to be fulfilling, because I've worked with all kinds of multimillionaires across the planet, and entrepreneurs, accomplished men and women. And the majority, 98% of them, had a gaping hole of unfulfillment, of sadness, because we've been tricked into pursuing things and operating in ways that bring us out of integrity with our soul. Even on the slightest level, if we're slightly out of integrity with our soul path and with our higher legacy, there's going to be a restlessness, an unfulfillment, a feeling that there's something more, and even a sadness and grief that most are just covering up with, the hustle, the grind, the coffees, the endless dopamine addictions that we need to transcend so we can step into the path of fulfillment. And that's so much more joyous to live in that path. And one of the ways that our energetic resourcefulness and our finances get drained is through our sexuality, which has been really targeted on this planet. And so I'll let Saskia share a little bit about the codes that came through our trial and error experimentation with really calling in our higher self into our sexuality. Show us what has been tampered with, show us what's the original blueprint, show us how to seal our field so our energy, our sexuality can be merged with our divine path. And we've put together this protocol that really helps restore a sealed field, so we can, through our sensuality and sexuality, we can build the storehouse of higher dimensional serenity, bliss, and wealth in our body.
Yeah, so as many of you know, sexuality is the most targeted and, most heavily distorted and corrupted thing on our planet, because, these anti-life forces know that this is our divine co-creation power. It's like basically the seat where we can generate organic infinite wealth from. It's the place where we also can, when we connect to the true pure form of sexuality, there are no health issues anymore, because it's like connected to our perfect divine health and vitality. And also it is a gateway for God to really anchor and seal the eternal God worlds, like the paradise, through our bodies, through our vessels, like bridging it back to this planet. And because these anti-life forces knew that, that is the only way they could create a fallen consciousness, it was the very first thing that they targeted when the invasion of our planet happened back in Lemuria, and also again to certain Anunnaki anti-life forces, Luciferian forces in Atlantis. So that is actually also where this Saturn moon matrix was artificially inserted in that timeline, and in that like Atlantean phantom timeline. And what it does, and the intention behind that was to broadcast is like inverted ultraviolet and ruby rays And the ruby ray is what stands for purity. You know, the divine feminine expression of the ruby ray is purity. And also the divine masculine is power. Obviously, they're unified. So it's like our purity and our power that was being targeted, both, you know, not only through the insertion of this like Saturn moon artificial object in our, you know, around our Earth, and frequency fences that were placed around our planet, but it's also, you know, it was also unfortunately done in a very brutal way through these interbreeding programs that, you know, both in the Lemurian and the Atlantean timeline, there were some really dark phantom timelines of being captured, you know, rape, torture, and interbreeding programs to like what it really did is like it was done to attempt us to disconnect us from this inner paradise sanctuary to program deep unworthiness consciousness into our being. And that is also what fueled this dopamine addiction, to fill this inner void and to distract from this like deep underlying pain and suffering that for so many, the pain has been so deep that there's been countless numbing shields placed over this. It just created an unconscious sexual misery program that most people are not even aware how deep it goes to, like how many higher levels of divine and, you know, just absolutely blissful, lasting, blissful, everlasting, blissful sexuality and also co-creation power that actually are our natural state that are available to us, that have been through this, like an MK Ultra programming, you know, that has created these numbing shields to numb out this trauma, this pain, but it created like an amnesia for us to actually also forget this absolute purity and divinity and infinite serenity that is our natural state. And so they, on purpose, you know, this was intentionally done to create this like dopamine addiction and, you know, kind of creating like this addiction to disconnect us from the eternal, lasting serenity and bliss paradise, inner paradise that is our divine birthright, but we lost it to a certain degree in those cataclysms, and then make us almost like hunger after like these little short-term bliss peaks, these false illusionary bliss peaks, which you know, creates like a spike in dopamine followed by like a drop and withdrawal symptoms. So it's like almost like one is stuck in an endless loop of like highs followed by, you know, a fall and then, you know, low. So it's like almost like a little bit of an up and down roller coaster on a loop, when our true state is just like an everlasting state of bliss, of serenity. And that is our true birthright and our true nature to return back to. But it takes us to really wake up to this also truths of what has happened on our planet and to remember it on the deepest level, what is actually available to us. And as we know, you know, this was not only something that was done in those cataclysmic falls, it's something that is on purpose, even to this day. You know, sexuality is still heavily targeted, and there's intentional conditioning being done through porn, social media, music, the film industry. Like there's so many different layers how we are being conditioned to stay kind of locked in this this lower form of sexuality from a place of unworthiness. And this unworthiness then fuels this hunger, or what we can also describe as a lust-based dopamine addiction that is, you know, I'm not saying there is no true love on this planet, there is, but there always are certain levels for most people of reclaiming an even higher, pure form of divine love, embodiment of our divinity, and also being able to really operate from plugging back into these God worlds, into this eternal blissful state where there's, you know, just no restlessness, there's no more need to fill a void. It's like we remember how to actually really plug back into this eternal fountain of bliss from inside our bodies. This is like the ultimate liberation. And it allows us to, instead of coming together from, this like inner void, this hunger, and unconsciously to a certain level, oftentimes like depleting each other, because some aspects of us, the wounded aspects that sometimes we're not even aware of, that we've numbed out, that we have forgotten, unconsciously, that don't know how to source from God, they try to source in that moment of lovemaking from each other. And unfortunately, this creates like an opening for certain anti-life forces to steal this life force, to steal this sacred life force energy that is being generated. And like the true path that we're remembering is to actually generate, to actually unhook. We want to like track every single dopamine addiction in our body that has been generated. Is obviously there's some very common ones that are common for most people, and then of course there's like some unique ones to our unique story and traumas that got inserted in this lifetime, in childhood, in past lifetimes, that we need to just really track and become aware of, so we can go to the core causal moment and remember how to, in that moment, source from God, how to actually plug ourselves back in, even in a moment of being captured, of being held hostage, of torture, no matter what has been done externally, there is a way, there's a path to take refuge in the inner sanctuary and to allow this eternal God worlds to override, basically the phantom timelines. There's a way for us to really tap in to this eternal stream of like this, it's like kind of unlocking the inner heavenly gateway. That's how I would describe it best. It's like unlocking the inner, like remembering the entrance point to this inner heavenly gateway that is unlocking this endless stream of infinite serenity, infinite bliss, and inner peace, and actual overflow. It's like already a state of building this inner wealth inside us that, we have remembered this really incredible life-changing like sequence that we can practice first between our soul and God on an energetic level. It creates like a beautiful circuitry between, it's like a microcosmic orbit that we need to practice for women with the divine cosmic masculine, to allow ourselves to be, fueled up, charged up with this inner wealth, where we can really feel our body being just saturated with this divine masculine love. And for men, it is also, this in an absolute complementary way, this absolute connection to the divine cosmic feminine that also charges and nourishes the masculine's heart with this divine pure love that is just giving, that is unconditional, that doesn't want to bargain and unconsciously take something in exchange or siphon in any form. It just simply is pure, unconditional, devotional giving that wants to pour into us, that finds so much pleasure in filling us up with this infinite bliss, this true, pure love. And when we cultivate this circuitry inside us, it like really allows us, it sensitizes us on the deepest level. It's like, yeah, it's really like unplugging from, an addiction where we always need more and more of whatever drug we are using for this addiction to create a certain little illusionary spike of a short-term bliss. And it's like learning to actually feel basically how to be high on life on a constant level. And that is really such a liberation when we remember how to do this inside our bodies, how we can actually generate this. We are no longer dependent on receiving this bliss state, by merging ourselves sexually with someone else. We already are able to receive it within us. And when we then from this place choose to come together from a place of overflow, from this like wealth with our beloved, that is also doing this restoration process to divinity, to purity, to worthiness, to overflow, it really creates like an absolute amplification. It creates a massive amplification where we start devotionally pouring this inner wealth into each other, and it starts to create a limitless, unlimited like expansion in our bodies. So this is what and can unlock this state of basically a lasting, not just like a peak short-term bliss state or an orgasm that is like a short, thing that we're chasing after, but it is like an ongoing, energetic, orgasmic state of serenity. And it's, really unhooking from this like dopamine addiction and coming back to this more like this serotonin that our nervous system starts learning to produce inside of us, like unlocking an infinite fountain of serotonin in our nervous system, in our hearts, and in our sacral. And also oxytocin, like oxytocin is also really like the love and bonding hormone. So it's like it helps us to become securely attached to, God, basically. And from that place, it's like we are just in overflow. We can actually just like pour this love out and this inner wealth, this bliss outwards. And it really does help us like overcome all phantom timeline obstacles that are in our past. It heals any misalignments or just like any disease in the body that has been generated from this unconscious misery, sexual misery, or just from other like misalignments between our soul and God. And it also just, just helps us really break through on our soul's legacy and remove the obstacles, because it really kind of unlocks this eternal God seeds that have been placed in our womb, or just like in our tailbone. We have like 8 dormant fetal cells that were created in the moment of conception that hold our soul's divine legacy. And so that is what can be unlocked and uncovered. And there's like multiple ways how this sexuality helps us from the inside out and from the external, through the divine masculine solar living light and the divine feminine harmonic sound field. It helps us dissolve these frequency fences, these numbing shields, and it really sensitizes us to feel so much more bliss and serenity and inner and outer wealth. So it is just like a really massive remembrance that is coming back and is, being given powerful embodiment codes for us to rewire our brain and our nervous system to remember how it feels like to actually come back to this natural state.
We spoke about your Rishik self. This is the eternal identity aspect of you. This is the part of you that has a very specific quintessence, frequency. It's a divine personality. It's beyond who you've been conditioned to be. And many people, they work really hard to create a ego consciousness that can identify with external success and create and proliferate a false mask in order to operate in the world. And what's even more fulfilling is to really begin to braid this consciousness that we all have of our ego identity with our divine personality, and teach our egoic mind and consciousness to submit and surrender to that eternal identity consciousness. And it's very rare still to find someone who's attained success externally, who's truly soul aligned, and who's doing this work to really anchor in the eternal identity and come into really understanding how to put that on the throne and let go of the egoic pride and attachment and go through the ego deaths necessary to really stay in that soul alignment and to really be in spiritual alignment as a successful executive, CEO, entrepreneur, etc. And so that is part of the missions, is to really support many people who are already successful to come into this alignment, and those who are meant to reach others and create internal, external success to accelerate that journey. And so what we want to do now is offer you an activation. One of our gifts is in the space of quantum mastery. We have skill sets to support in the restoration of energetic blueprints, collapse out limiting belief systems, get through any type of obstacle. And so we're going to offer you an experience to sample one level of our work. And this is one level of a sequence in a greater architecture and arc of transformation that we'll also share later for those who are interested. And so if you've never received quantum healing before or a healing session, this is just a time for you to open your mind and heart to receive whatever's for your highest and best and be open to whatever wants to come through. And so those who have, you can get ready to receive. And if you received our work before, get ready, get in a comfortable position. We always recommend, if you can, get in a position where you can have your spine straight enough to really allow the currents to come down. And if you are guided to lie down, you are also invited to lie down. And as you find your comfortable position to really receive, I invite you to open your heart, close your eyes, call your energy to yourself. Rounding down through your legs into the earth, inviting your higher self to anchor a pillar of light through your physical body as we visualize a platform of light below us, a temple of light surrounding us. A pillar of light anchoring in this temple space, we invoke the presence of the divine, Holy Father, Holy Mother, guardians, or higher selves to be present. And if you give permission for God, Holy Father, Holy Mother, Saskia, and myself, Lucas Diamond, to work on you on all levels for your highest and best, and for your highest and best only, I invite you to say yes. And if you give yourselves permission to release what you're here to release and receive what you're here to receive, I also invite you to say yes. We ask all interferences, distortions, trackers, remote viewers to be removed from our temple space as we call upon Creator's perspective and definition of our own divine union legacy. And this is even the higher level of our personal purpose. It's that which, when we accomplish it and leave it on this planet, every aspect of our soul feels fulfilled, like we've done what we came to do. Very specifically, we feel fulfilled on the deepest level. And we're also calling in the distinction between divine union legacy wealth and success and alignment with the soul, and creating success and wealth based on the current collective path and blueprint. We want to bring that distinction energetically so you can attune and decide that you're going to create your success, your wealth, and your service from a place that allows you to actually enjoy it with peace and fulfillment and a healthy pride. If this resonates, I invite you to say yes. As you say yes and open your consciousness, we allow the beautiful stream from your own higher self to enter into your crown. Visualize like a waterfall of golden light flowing through your crown and through your being, down into your heart. As we open up to the awareness of the truth that our higher self is ready to show us. Many of you have already awakened to the levels of distortion and the levels of interference that have showed up on this planet, that have been attacking us, that have been creating and siphoning humanity in a variety of ways. There's corruption infiltrated through the governments, through different wannabe controller groups. Don't even have to name them. You can find and dig deep and research. But behind all of this is anti-life forces who are targeting and attempting to stop the natural evolution of our species. Yet it's happening and it can't be stopped. And we are each called to play our role in anchoring in a higher architecture for humanity, to shepherd the awakening of and maturation of our species, creating new culture and playing our role. In order to play our role fully, there may be some numbing shields that keep us from feeling the degree of pain that we've needed to feel, and to feel the degree to our calling. Our ability to feel through our numbing shields allows us to answer the calling that's there underneath the pain that we feel individually, ancestrally, and collectively. And so, with your permission, according to the wisdom of your higher self, are you willing to pull up and to face and to dissolve any numbing shields that you are ready to face with support and willingness to alchemize any unprocessed emotions so that you can access the deeper level of your calling, your power, and your mastery? If this resonates, I invite you to say yes. And I invite you to drop into your heart and open your heart. As you invite your higher self to bring up the pain that you need to feel and bring in the presence of your divine self into that pain. Realizing that one moment of presence with that pain can bring the overstanding and understanding and understanding that will allow the wisdom to be integrated from those experiences, imprints, and traumas, and the gems to be harvested so you can use that experience, trauma, and pain as fuel for the next phase of your purpose. And so being willing to take off the illusions, delusions, overlays, the blankets, the cappings, the black magic that has been put on humanity, so you can see clearly what's happening here. Yes, there are individuals and groups that put toxins not only into foods and into the air, but created in labs, create distortion in labs, broadcast distorted frequency through music, put in splitter tech into the movies and in through the distorted aspects of AI through social media. There's so much distortion that's meant to distract, divide, and fragment humanity. And yet there is an ability when we remember who we are to override that with our energetic emanation, with our choice to not be here passively, but to be an active architect of something new and to emanate from the core of our Rishik self, a frequency that transcends time, space, and anti-life, anti-Hierogamic technologies and emits the medicine, the solution, and the new architecture that overrides false domination and creates a space of liberation, attunement, alignment, and abundance for all. And I invite you to step into that and to step into the possibility and the faith and the trust that we can create a new culture and a new way of being and an entirely new civilization on this planet. And even if there continue to exist some level of distortion, false light, Luciferian direction, where they're creating smart cities and things look like they're getting worse on some level, we can create our own sanctified villages and small communities that eventually become civilizations. Eventually, the collective of humanity will move through the wave of awakening to where science proves the reality of soul, and we can finally create the omni-compassionate culture that mystics have been dreaming of, and actually that we've once lived in other golden eras. And so what we're doing as leaders is we are expanding our consciousness through time and space to the other golden ages or timelines in which there was coherence and harmony and abundance and purpose for all. And we are tracking and weaving that golden thread from those ancient timelines through everything that's happened, harvesting the gifts and the lessons and also the sanctified gems in every civilization, because nothing is black and white. There are gems and gifts and blessings in all cultures and civilizations and eras. And so as we weave this golden thread into this current timeline, we connect to the highest future timeline of the Aurora Earth, the highest possibility for humanity. And we start to anchor in, what does that look like? when humanity has made it through that collective initiation, and as a culture, we are honoring the fact that we have souls and creating a heart-based society that values living from the heart and the soul. What does that look like when we reshift all of the systems and governance models in place to reflect the soul level wisdom of how to create true coherence in an omni-compassionate world, where abundance is part of our natural state? And we've eradicated the false light and Luciferian and satanic agendas and transhumanism agendas, and stepped into the right relationship with technology and the earth that honors an organic evolutionary path from the wisdom of our heart and our soul. What does that feel like? What does it feel like to live in that, to be a leader of that, and to invite others into that? How will that shift the way that you do business when you realize there's a new business architecture to implement? There's a new way of doing everything that's in attunement to this future Aurora Earth vision that you can start creating now, that you can start inviting people into now. And your willingness to do this makes you not just a leader on the planet, it makes you a luminary. It activates your luminary leadership, your visionary leadership, where you are doing a great service to help actualize the evolutionary intelligence's will on the planet, divine will on the planet, a servant of that, a steward of that, a facilitator of that. This is the key, one of the keys to unlocking your legacy path and the wealth and provision and the love and the bliss that comes with that. So I invite you to step into that and feel your pillarship ground and activate, as you say, full yes, willingness to be in your highest visionary leadership and to anchor in alignment with divine will, your full legacy. If this resonates, I invite you to say yes now.
We're now going to activate once more on an even more stronger level our devotional inner flame, our Amorea flame in our high heart that has the power to burn down any blocks, any just reversals in your field, on your paths. So we're just going to start off by just connecting to this inner soul fire in your heart that is ready to reclaim heaven and earth back into your body, and from your body to ripple it out all around you, to just allow this inner God world, this inner sanctuary that you are returning home to then literally be made manifest all around you, within and without. Allow yourself to really feel your soul's fire, your soul's inner devotion that is ready for this, that is done with looping in these old, just enslavement, phantom timelines, and to really choose your highest lasting bliss, peace, fulfillment on a soul level, and also the fulfillment from being in your true soul's legacy, and also unified with your true divine masculine or divine feminine counterpart. And in this holy trinity between your soul and God, Holy Mother, Holy Father, just allow yourself to just feel this fire. This is like one of the divine feminine devotional flames that we're activating by feeling this pure desire. This is like the deepest soul desire we could feel of coming home to God, coming home to all parts of ourselves and to this inner paradise sanctuary. Allow yourself to really lean into this desire and let the fire kind of grow stronger. It's like you're stoking this flame with this desire, and this desire, really allow yourself to remember how pure this desire is. It's not just an ego desire of your incarnate personality. This is an eternal desire that is bigger than you. This is actually God's divine will for you and, for our collective. It's so important and sacred that heaven and earth literally cannot return without you really honoring and choosing and claiming this desire, like you hold a unique piece for the restoration of heaven on earth that only you hold, a specific frequency, a specific soul song that bursts forth your soul's legacy like a seed that wants to bloom into its highest potential, into creation, and is a unique puzzle piece to the whole that is governed by the divine intelligence, like really allowing yourself to trust and surrender that your soul desire is so sacred and important. Just allow yourself to feel this desire to return to heaven and earth in your body and experience it also being co-created through you and around you. And just allow this flame, this beautiful white and golden flame, grows so pure and strong that it starts to turn like blue. It's like the frequency of the Holy Spirit is coming through as you can feel yourself really surrendering into your true self that just wants to serve life, that wants to be a vessel for the divine orchestration, that comes from a place of deeply, like that remembers it's the safest thing we can do is to trust divine orchestration that is orchestrating everything in our highest and best for our highest alignment from a place that we with our human mind could never through control be able to attain. It only can flow through us through this like higher divine intelligence, which is allowing yourself to trust even more and surrender as you allow this flame to grow so beautiful azure blue and spread out from your high heart into your entire body and field, deepening your ability to trust and surrender, which is really you handing the reins over to the divine intelligence, taking any part of yourself that was trying to control the situation or push or struggle, if you've been experiencing stagnation, either in your mission or in your union field, or just any form of just struggle or feeling like you need to fight hard to achieve something, I invite you to just soften into this divine co-creation power that is unlocked when you hand the reins over to God, where it's like this miracle dispensation of the Holy Spirit comes through to bless you, to allow you to lean back more. And it's not only a passive feminine devotional state, but it also fuels like the masculine holy fire devotion of actually feeling the impulse to take action in the right moment and in the right direction that is heart-based and soul aligned and is coming from not a human ego impulse that could maybe lead us astray from our true path and our highest alignment, but it really is coming from the highest divine intelligence, from your higher self, from Holy Mother, Holy Father, that are guiding you back home. Allowing yourself to feel this flame starting to dissolve blocks in your field. And on your path, you can circulate consciously this Amaria flame through your field. And you can also visualize how you're placing God once more on the throne of your heart into this leadership position. You're placing God and your higher self on this throne of your high heart that is in the seat of guiding you in every moment to both surrender deeper, trust more, to dissolve blocks, but also to take powerful action and to feel like this holy passion, this holy desire in you that also has the power to burn down blocks that are in your past, because your holy passion is so pure, it is so unified with the divine will, that when every moment that you connect to this purity of your desire and of this holy passion within you, you can feel this Holy Spirit energy is just dissolving the blocks, the frequency fences around you, because this frequency that you're anchoring through your high heart is coming from, it's the highest frequency of purity. This frequency is eternal and overrides all other frequencies that are just temporary illusions that try and entangle our consciousness and trap us in phantom timelines. And only then does it become real, when we unconsciously give consent to be entrapped and entangled and tricked into certain traps or certain, false bliss, false safety, false comfort states that, we really need to find the courage to understand that we need to choose between our deepest soul's fulfillment and just staying trapped in these illusionary states of short-term bliss that actually don't truly fulfill us on a soul level, that are just giving us the illusion of some kind of ability to avoid pain or like a short-term bliss, but ultimately they're capping us from our deepest, lasting, true fulfillment that is such a incredible like homecoming to the inner paradise that when we really are able to allow God to help us see and tap into the difference, we can really make our choice in this moment now for our highest alignment to return home. Just using this light language to dissolve any blocks and frequency fences. Just like allowing parts of you that need to surrender deeper, to soften and trust in the divine intelligence. Really find also this inner courage to choose, to take this leap of faith, and also a deep part that we're also going to be working on now is not only this faith and trust that creates a pillar above to the Holy Father, but also the worthiness restoration that is like allowing the pillar to be anchored all the way into your body by remembering your divinity, your innocence and purity. And for this, we're going to start now activating the pink diamond Elohai, Son of the Holy Father, to stream down from above our crown liquid living light of ruby, magenta, and golden rays, holding this primordial divine masculine energy of absolute awareness of truth, this ability of God to see us in our truth of who we truly are, to see our innocence and purity, see our innocence and purity, and pierce through any identity overlays, allowing this awareness of the primordial divine masculine to enter to our crown and to stream down, saturating our whole being with this awareness of the beauty and the glory and just the genius of our soul, and this unlimited, unconditional, non-performance-based worth and value that our soul has, is infinite value that cannot be priced, that is just the highest treasure in existence, the most valuable and cherished, sacred, holy child of the most beautiful love story between Holy Divine Mother and Holy Father, just allowing this remembrance to stream down through you and help also de-armor around your heart and in your sacral any frequency fences and numbing shields and stories that are based upon lies, that are based upon that you need to, for example, prove your worth, that you need to fight for love or wealth, any imprints of deep unworthiness, any beliefs or stories that for not being fully perfect in every moment, for being human, for making human mistakes, that you did not know better in the moment, that you need to be punished for that, like releasing these lies, breaking through this, capping these frequency fences, through this living, illuminating rays of truth, of eternal truth from the Holy Father, just allowing you to stream this down. So any parts around your heart where you rejected any part of yourself, allowing this to gently de-armor and dissolve, and allow yourself to see yourself and feel yourself again through the eyes of God, Holy Mother, Holy Father, that see you in your innocence and purity, that can see both your humanity and your divinity, and love you unconditionally, value and appreciate you unconditionally for who you are. We're just allowing us to now reach the womb, the sacral, which is the lower dantian for men, and any frequency fences that are creating like a shell that are blocking you from accessing this infinite divinity. We ask this living light to slowly pierce through and de-armor any lies, to illuminate any lies that have been inserted in your field from multiple timelines throughout this lifetime as well. Just any beliefs, any part in you that has not an unshatterable inner gnosis of your eternal, infinite self-worth. We ask these parts to, just to be illuminated with love and truth. We're allowing ourselves to really use this living light to dissolve everything that is not true, allowing yourself to really understand how this living light is the true eternal light of God's eyes, that the moment it touches a lie, this lie phantom cannot coexist because it is not eternal. It's based on a lie and a stealing or basically an entanglement of our consciousness in that lie. But the moment it gets illuminated, we have a choice to liberate our consciousness from this phantom timeline, from this story, and from this false identity overlay that we are not worthy. It creates a whole death rebirth, being touched by this living light of God that helps us really remember ourselves on a deeper level. Now from within, the very center, the primordial center in our womb, the cervix, or for men, just like the very core of the lower dantian, we're also just going to anchor in the white diamond Elohai, son of the holy divine mother arc, feeling this harmonic solar pillars from her heart streaming through this white rainbow of opalescent plasma tones of her purity, her holiness, her magic, her divine love, infinite care and compassion for us, allowing you to really receive this transmission through both, the earth star chakra in your feet, streaming it upwards, but also through the very core of the womb to the cervix, feeling this white diamond Elohai sun starting to emanate this harmonic ancient soul song of remembrance of who you are, how you are. You have been created in the image of God's innocence and holiness and purity. God does not make any mistakes in creation. God's creations are perfect. They are the most sacred and holy creations. The souls are the children of God. And we are allowing ourselves to really remember that our innocence and purity cannot ever be lost, cannot be tainted, no matter what has been done in certain phantom timelines. We want ourselves to also understand how, even our bank accounts are also a reflection of how much do actually we ourselves value and appreciate ourselves, and not just, how we've been conditioned, that when we show up for others, that we feel more valuable, but actually for simply our existence, for our being, for this non-performance based, just existence of who we truly are. Because oftentimes we are locked into a dopamine-based existence of receiving money in exchange for doing something, and also, helping us really see that this is not because God only values us when we do something. This is God infinitely values us for who we are, but it's like we are the ones who are blocking out this infinite abundance stream that God wants to shower upon us for who we are. We are literally the ones who only have been conditioned to basically buy into this story of this collective black magic lie of enslavement, that we are only worthy when, we basically give something, that it's like a performance-based exchange. And that's why we oftentimes only allow in abundance when we show up for a certain way. We want to really unhook everyone here from this lie of the enslavement, from the performance-based value and worse. We want to really unhook ourselves from this and remember to this inner still point, this soul song, this inner paradise sanctuary that helps us tap into the eternal God worlds and the eternal truths that can override all these frequency fences. It's like you can feel in the very core, in this primordial inner core of your heart womb, because your heart and womb are unified. It's like a beautiful aurora pearl is starting to be generated out of this aurora white diamond Elohai sun. You can feel like a beautiful aurora pearl that holds these tri-wave color tones of, just crystalline aqua and emerald tones, turquoise tones of the Holy Mother, beautiful violet and ruby tones of the Holy Father, and the beautiful golden tones of the Holy Child. You can feel how there's a unique crystallized sound pearl that is just generating this infinite, unshatterable inner knowing of your worthiness. And you can feel as you start to, like, it is an empath, intuitively tap into this deep inner sanctuary, this aurora pearl frequency, this unconditional, non-performance based self-worth and self-appreciation, feeling this is your divinity, this is your remembrance of your divinity, that we're piercing through all these layers, these frequency fences are the equivalent that has been placed around our planet. The more we de-armor this inside ourselves, it breaks down this frequency fences that are trying to hold us and our planet stuck in this lower frequency of enslavement. So allow yourself to really feel your power in simply using your free will and giving God permission to slowly de-armor these lies, these blocks, these identity overlays, these reversals inside of you, and just let this sound field start to be generated from your very core, dissolving from the inside, all like reversal symphonies that are basically inharmonic symphonies that tell stories, that sing a song of unworthiness, are being collapsed out because they're simply not the truth. It's like when two waves meet each other, the more powerful wave can override and collapse out the other wave. And this is exactly what's happening through this sound field. You can feel this sound field just growing stronger and louder, even though it is coming from the innermost still point. It is not the usual music that we're used to hear with our ears. It's like an inner still point sound field of pre-creation matter. It's like the perfect proton seed that informs the movement of the electron, that gives the electron, the atom, its shape. And this is our co-creation power. This is our divine feminine co-creation power that we're tapping into, allowing you to really connect and tap into this primordial core of yourself that is, to certain degrees, it's like your inner divine feminine dragon that is hatching out of the egg. And the egg is symbolized through these frequency fences, these overlays that have been inserted through the Saturn moon matrix, these reversals that make us feel shame, guilt, unworthiness, or powerlessness. And we're just little by little breaking through all of these blocks. And for today, we're focusing specifically on this layer of our worthiness to help us remember that we are worthy of our deepest soul desires. We're worthy of highest divine love, of infinite bliss and serenity, and of the fulfillment that comes from serving God on this absolute highest level of our soul's legacy. We want to also de-armor the numbing shields around the ability to feel actually our deepest soul desires. So many of us have just given up because it felt too painful in this world where we have been blocked in so many forms, we've been targeted in so many forms, to actually really connect deeply, intimately with our soul desires, with these dream seeds that have been placed by God inside of us, that is our destined legacy projects. So I want you to connect into this aurora pearl for a moment and just feel how it feels like to connect with the part that is your higher self, that already is fully unified with the God inside your heart womb, and to feel this infinite value, this infinite divinity. I want to allow you to take a moment to really feel this infinite value, this eternal and infinite, unconditional, non-performance-based value, the part of you that already knows that. There's a part of you that already knows that. I want you to connect with that part and tap into this part in the very core of your heart womb. And just feel and visualize the beautiful sound field and color streams in all their glory and their beauty of your beautiful aurora pearl sound field. And now I want to invite you to start to transmit this remembrance of your infinite value, and also the ability to really appreciate yourself for everything that you are, both in your divinity and your humanity. I want you to pour this into your human self from the inside out, from your higher self that is unified with God in the very core of your heart womb. Allow yourself to start to pour little by little this transmission into your human self that is more on the outer layers. And just share this transmission that is streaming out of your heart and out of the core of your womb, like a beautiful living light and sound field. It's like cracking this aurora pearl dragon egg open, and it's starting to overflow like a fountain, this remembrance of your infinite value. And also this self-appreciation, this self-love is starting to be unlocked like a circuitry fountain inside of you that is remembering how it feels like to pour this appreciation from the inside out into yourself and allow it to overflow and create this infinite fountain stream, just feeling the deep inner peace and serenity that comes with connecting to this inner primordial God world. And we're also asking our higher self to support with the armoring of any numbing shield for feeling, the desire that is helping us, the deepest soul desire that is helping us get absolute crystal clear clarity what our true soul's legacy is on this planet. Like, what were we born to do? What is our highest, what would make our soul feel the highest fulfillment? What would make our soul feel lit up beyond anything? What would make us feel so proud to leave behind on this planet? The most beautiful legacy project that you can imagine for the future generations that you feel is connected to your gifts. You can also ask yourself, what would you do with 100 million? What would be the first things that are most important to you that you would change on this planet? How does it feel like in your soul to feel like you're no longer powerless, but you're given the keys? And it's just about you knowing what would you do with these keys? Like, what would you co-create with God when you remember your co-creation power? Because this aurora pearl that we're starting to tap back in, and there are more layers to it, but this is one of the most powerful layers that we're unlocking today. Remembrance of our infinite worthiness and divinity. That is the seed of our co-creation power. So allow yourself to remember that it's not only possible for you to become a co-creator with God, but it is your destiny. It is your highest potential that is like actually unstoppable for you when you walk unified with God, when you practice this devotional inner alchemy and start to deepen it and cultivate it. It is the only outcome possible for you to be on your highest timeline and to become an absolute co-creator and steward and leader of these new earths, aurora earths, heaven on earth projects that are being divinely orchestrated in perfect synergy So allow yourself to take a few moments to really connect with this vision that is blossoming from the very core of your womb and heart. Your soul already knows with absolute crystal clarity what you came here to do. Allow yourself to just de-armor any overlays that got inserted of what is expected of you, what you should do, certain goals that you were told you need to reach to be good enough, or to please certain people or parents, or any layers of competition, performance-based layers. Like, just allow yourself to silence all of that chatter and come home to this inner still point, this deep inner knowing, this deep primordial wisdom that is eternally there. It's always been there within you. You just allow yourself to go in so deep to be able to really hear it and receive it. If those of you already know what your soul's legacy is, there's an even deeper layer of clarity that you can access. And I want to really also help you understand how important it is for your wealth creation, your legacy creation, to get this crystal clear clarity. It's like the more clarity you have, the more magnetic you become. And then some of you might be able to even get a vision of your soul's blueprint. If not, that's okay. This is something that can be unlocked with more practice. But just want to let you know, there is a soul blueprint, like, of your legacy, that holds specific color tones, images, symbology that is so magnetic to your soul. It's like the remembrance code to your soul. And when we infuse this into our branding, it makes us so highly magnetic. So this is something that, we want to support everyone to get the highest level of clarity, to make sure you know exactly what is your mission, what is your message, and what you came here to do, because this clarity also really helps you fuel this passion and this clarity of your divine masculine into removing any obstacles. And also it unlocks your divine feminine magnetism when you know exactly what you came here to do and there's no doubts in you left. You become unstoppable. You become an unstoppable force of nature that is just really able to stream effortlessly this higher embodiment of your higher self, merging it, braiding it into your human self, and then braiding it into our world. So this is something that we want to support you with on the deepest level, to unlock these numbing shields and get more clarity. And allow yourself to really lean into this vision. Also de-armoring any implants or belief system that tell us it's not safe to, visualize this legacy project because certain fears got inserted that we can be disappointed if it doesn't happen. I invite you to really connect to your inner gnosis of how God implanted these seeds, these desires, these soul desires, not to set us up for disappointment, but because it is part of who we already are in the God world. Our higher self already is embodied with this soul legacy. And this is actually our true self. This is our eternal self. And we're just breaking through this capping to our incarnate temporary overlays to help them understand this truth and help them align their free will with this truth and unlock the co-creation of this by restoring the faith and trust and remembrance of your infinite worthiness. There's nothing you could have ever done to block this out. It can only temporarily, we can be tricked to give our consent into basically reversal timelines. But the moment you remember your power of your free will, you can reclaim all your soul parts back onto the highest timeline.
As you anchor in the choice to be on your highest timeline, I invite you to ground all your energy into your body. As we integrate and we seal all of this work, Coming back into your body, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. As you come back into your body, feeling your feet on the floor, consider anything you received about your legacy. What is it at the end of your life that's going to make you feel so fulfilled that you accomplished what you came to this planet to accomplish? Attune your heart and your mind to the pathway of purpose, the timeline that you will actualize that in the most aligned way. And make a choice that you're willing to confront and alchemize anything that's in the way of that highest potential and highest timeline. And if you're ready, take a step energetically on that path. Take a step. And after you've made that step, after you walked through the portal into your highest timeline, I invite you to open your eyes.
Thank you so much, everyone, for your devotion. And those of you who feel called to share in the chat your soul legacy project that came through, if you already know it or if you got a glimpse of it, we just invite those who want to share in the chat. We would love to hear these beautiful legacy projects. It's really what fuels our soul. We're so passionate about supporting the most beautiful souls in really becoming clear and actualizing and starting to hear more and more pieces of this divine master plan, how we really all complement each other with unique different legacy projects. It's just so beautiful to hear them.
We are honored to have a chance to connect with you and are really excited for what you're going to build in 2024. And for those who resonate, we have an opportunity to create powerful acceleration through this quantum work and the deep legacy work that we do. I have been training healers since for 16 years now. And then I began to train coaches. And now it's the next level of, hey, we're not just healers, coaches, we're luminaries connected to a new higher culture here to change what it means to even be in leadership. What does it really mean to connect with each other through a new structure that holds liberation, sovereignty, freedom within our fields and for others? What does it feel like when we feel so liberated and free to be authentically us, and we're each carrying that sovereign platform and mastery and holding it for each other? What kind of culture is created? What kind of culture is created where we develop the protocols for others to step into this awareness, into their leadership through a tone of equality, and step into the synarchy, the joint leadership? And so my passion is to help people step into that empowered certitude that comes from their soul, open their voice and authority, master the art of command and the quantum skill set where you can shift things in one instant and step into your full luminary leadership to leave your legacy. And Saskia and I are just passionate about creating spaces that our future children, all of our golden children that are here to come, or who knows, you might incarnate as a golden children into the space that we are now architecting. It's an environment that creates a safety and empowerment to honor the soul of these children and create new environments, school systems, eco-villages, etc., for them to really prosper and thrive and reach their potential in this. And so I've developed this luminary leadership protocol. It's a quantum healing protocol. And Saskia has the foundation of this divine union, sacred sexuality, evolutionary piece as well. And for the first time, we're merging the best of what Saskia does and what I do and what we do together into one, I would say the best offering, the most magical offering we've ever created. And it's going to be a 16-week program. For those that this calls to, you can stay on to hear the details. And I just want to honor everyone for your time, for being here. And if you feel complete, that you've received what you needed to receive, we just thank you, and we wish you all our love, so much warmth and beauty and joy on your path, and blessings and prosperity on your journey ahead. And so we extend love to all of those who are feeling complete. And for those who would love to learn about the course and the 16-week program that we're doing, you can stay on, and we're going to just share with you what it is that inspired us, is the prophecy and the vision of what's happening on this planet, and the realization that we need to set ourselves and help others set themselves up for the evolutionary intelligence momentum of how do we become receptive to that which wants to land? How do we activate this leadership, our true sovereignty, restore our sexuality into its highest alignment? And no matter if you're single or coupled, this is how to collapse the lack and the leaks, to alchemize our sexual energy into, and to store bliss and prosperity, wealth in our body first, and in our inner blueprint, in our nervous system, through the meridians, and finally anchor it into the physical through aligned action, which we're going to be supporting people on these different levels of the first level, inner transformation, which has been our specialty for decades. Saskia facilitates, for me, the most amazing field work. When I get sessions from her, they're the best sessions I've ever gotten in my life. And I facilitate a combination of different healing modalities that work on transforming the subconscious mind and activating highest potential. And integrating all of this with the tantric knowledge is this recipe that we feel for us has been a rapid acceleration into the next level of embodiment, the most alive and powerful and prosperous self. And what we've heard is that this work and this specific alchemy really collapses time in a new way than we've ever experienced. It can really save months, weeks, and even months, years, and even decades of life, of psychological work that it takes to really become your true, most liberated and free and highest self. And we want to just share just two short little stories that are going to be just a couple minutes to show what this work does, and to show the testimony, and to basically share what gets resolved when you are in devotional alignment and willing to move forward with your life. So the first thing, with your life path, on your legacy path, because that's the distinction. We don't just want to just live our highest bliss. We want to be so aligned with the win-win-win. What's going to give us the deepest fulfillment and development? What's going to please the highest intelligence of the divine? What's going to be of greatest service to the souls that we're meant to reach? And this win-win-win architecture is where our legacy lands and serves humanity. And this is what we're really excited to invite people into. Very profound, profound time to be alive and to step into this path together. So I want to share with everyone here one of our previous clients share her testimonial.
Hello, everybody. My name is Asha T. I am the CEO and founder of Beyond EQ International. I wanted to put this video together for Lucas and Saskia Diamond. Oh my gosh, hands down, two of the most angelic, beautiful, benevolent people you will ever meet. Without Lucas and Saskia and their service and their devotion to the collective and their devotion to their own union, I would not be nearly where I am today. I believe they have saved me years and years of misalignment. I have a really big mission in this lifetime. I have a really strong king. I'm so excited. And it's been with their assistance that I've been able to drop time. I initially started working with Saskia. I then invested in them working on my energy field together. It was the two of them helping me going deeper and deeper into alignment. I just want to let you know as well, on top of that, they have been so generous and just caring for me. Like, you can feel the love that they have for someone like myself, who is so dedicated to this portion of my mission, as well as everybody else. Divine union is not a joke. It is not something that you bypass. If you have that calling, you have to go for it, because there's been millions of years of targeting, and it takes work to align. If you have that in your soul, if you have that calling inside yourself, please step in, step forward, and get the help that you need so that you can drop, I swear to God, 10-15 years of time, I reckon, that I said reckon, that I've dropped, because they're pure. They're a godly, protected, divine union, and they are just such magical people. And I really strongly encourage you to keep going, and please answer the call if that's you. And if you need anything further, come on over to my page and ask me any questions you want. But I have 100% full belief that when you work with Saskia and Lucas, your life will change only for the better when you trust more inside that you're headed exactly where you're meant to be going. All right, sending you all so much love.
So much love. Absolutely. And coming into divine union with Saskia was difficult for the ego aspects and protective mechanisms, but it led to a protocol that we've been teaching for almost 4 years now, that really supports in collapsing out everything in the way of just the emanation of your original union and blueprint, which is what makes you magnetic to your partner and the opportunities. And then this legacy path, which I want to briefly share with you. The legacy work is a protocol of quantum healing that really brings you into your leadership, really brings you into what does it really mean to be in your luminary leadership from a higher timeline. And so just an example of some of the content that's going to be in this course, we're going to be taking someone through the architecture of the luminary leadership protocol, which contains the inner union work. We're going to be giving the sacred sexuality keys, so that whether you're single or in a relationship, you can be working on restoring the sense of wholeness and making sure your sexuality comes from that place and can build wealth and bliss in your body. And then finally, we're going to be helping you actually actualize your legacy, track and understand how does that show up as your brand and your next project that's really aligned with that legacy. And then what are the business skills that are going to help you in fulfilling that? Is it an offering that you're going to launch? And I have a full business course set up that I'll be sharing with you that is going to help you to have the keys, the understanding of soul level marketing and sales, and different keys that are needed for your venture and your project to get out there and be successful. And then as far as the inner work, just so you know, it's similar to what we just facilitated. There's very specific protocols we both developed to clear out the codependencies, the distortions, the interferences, and anchor greater sexual, financial, spiritual sovereignty and communion. And we're going to teach about the different energy levels, the different levels of embodiment, and do an assessment of integrated life mastery of where we're at, so we can really understand what areas need to be supported and built. And we're going to take this, what we did today, stepping into our heroic probability embodiment, to the next level. We're going to really go very nuanced in tracking collectively, but in the group, but also individually. I'm going to be able to track and assess specifically where is there a final tie, allegiance, or loyalty to an outdated architecture, system, mission, person, place, group, collective, and how can we unweave everyone from that so we can integrate our soul aspects, reclaim our full power, and develop our daily mastery system, an integrated life mastery system that allows us to continue the anchoring of our higher dimensional self into our integrated group consciousness. How can we then bring the keys to resolve the imprints from different falls of consciousness and timelines so that we can reclaim our identity and our gifts from those timelines that often were lost or frozen or fragmented, and turn on our genius and our divine worth and those gifts. And so this is the first month as we really do that work. Now we're accessing our blueprint because we've done the clearing and we've done the retrieval. And really this turns online our pineal gland capacity to track. It turns on our Magi Oracle gifts. And now we're starting to anchor in our king and queen aspects. We're anchoring in our soul legacy into a structured business form. And we're helping to coach and guide and support you in doing so as we continue on with developing our king, anchoring that into our heart and opening our voice, our expression, the power of our command, understanding how to go into flow state, how to witness instantaneous shifts, and transmitting our quantum mastery skill set to you. So you sit on your throne of consciousness, take up your space, restore the authority and certitude of your soul in your center, in your service, unweaving from the lack consciousness, the matrix spells, the black magic, money curses, and opening to the exponential quantum wealth that is part of our Aurora Earth. It's already part of who we are in a timeline that we can start to actualize now in an energetic frequency embodiment that we create and build on layer by layer. And this brings into greater freedom as a lived experience, as an emanation. It's fulfillment and freedom come from our communion, that it already is. And as we match that into our inner blueprint, we can timeline correct, meaning we can retrieve all that we are, make new choices in the past that allow us to jump timelines now into a new possibility, a new state. And we're building up the first half of these 16 weeks together. We are building up to this timeline jump that we're going to make together into our highest potential and have a breakthrough to a new upgraded life. And then I will transmit the specific system I have for maintaining and developing life mastery, embracing challenges, staying in alignment with our soul, and building success from that place. As we begin to go through what can be, but doesn't have to be, an arduous process of ego death from incarnate identity attachments into eternal identity / divine personality, there's a graceful way to do it. We don't have to give everything away and go the path of the sadhu in order to learn how to become a surrendered being. We can really start now and build where we're at and correct whatever's out of integrity so that we can live from a divine lifestyle and modus operandi that allows us to really live from fulfillment. And this is the fulfillment formula: mental, physical, emotional, energetic, sexual fulfillment requires we nourish ourselves on these levels and understand all of these levels. So how do we think well, eat well, train well, meditate well, bliss bond well through our sensuality, and develop the fulfillment codex that's going to allow us the next level of our Rishik integration, meaning we're integrating not only incarnate shadow aspects, but we're going to that oversoul and those cosmic avatar levels, and we're transcending that which happened across all timeline into the grounded, embodied mastery presence of who we are. And that's paving the path for a new type of leadership that we may have not been connected to in a very long time, or that is popping around the planet, that have so much power and so much anchoring that nothing will stop this. Nothing will slow down the power and the momentum of your leadership anchoring. And this level of this command of your space that you pierce through anything trying to stop your flow, and you embrace your mantle, you answer your call, and you build your legacy from this pristine power merged with the grace of your Rishik self. When we do that together, we become the strongest collective attuned to synarchy, to a joint leadership of collaboration and networking and community building, where we really fully anchor in who we are as guardians on this planet. And this is a powerful process that has been coming through, that is going to be a journey of coming into being the creator of this Aurora Earth timeline, of this new level of culture that we're creating. And along the way, we're going to be infusing the divine sexuality pieces and practices and keys, and then supporting with the translation of your soul legacy architecture into the physical projects or businesses that are going to be supporting you on this journey. And I will be offering, for those who are called to work with clients, the skill sets and how to connect to your future clients and work with creating your offer and the energetic containers for your own projects as well, and sharing all that I have around that for you as well. And so this is just a glimpse into that work. I took one client through a very brief version of what I just described, and he had amazing shifts in his business and his life. And I just want to share one final testimony of him now.
What's up? This is Leo Ahmad, and I just wanted to make this testimonial and shout out to Lucas Diamond, and yeah, just really share my experience of working with him and how he was able to support me in really taking my business to a whole nother level. I remember when I first met him, I was very disconnected from my business. I didn't feel like I was really serving my mission or really creating the impact that I'm here to create in this world. I felt like I was just stuck in a loop of just doing things to do things, with a very push, force, control mentality, a very old paradigm business approach. And, by working with him, he was really able to help me uncover my gifts and really tap into my true divine soul blueprint, why I came here on this planet. And I feel like every entrepreneur that is, that is building a company today needs to do this kind of work. If you want to tap into more joy, more love, more abundance, like this is the work that any entrepreneur is here to do. So again, I just want to express my gratitude and my appreciation for the support that I received from Lucas during that time. And anyone that is considering it, just know that if you want to fast track your success and take your business to a whole nother level, Lucas is the man for this. So again, I appreciate you, and sending you all the best of luck with your journeys, and we'll chat soon.
Yes.
I also want to just quickly mention that we will also really support you through just like oracular gifts. That's one of my specific unique gifts I hold, to like support you to scan deeply for the highest clarity of your soul's blueprint, your soul's legacy. I am able to be able to read certain soul blueprints in your genetic makeup and support you to get like full clarity or even deeper clarity if you have a certain alignment, an inner knowing, to just like clarify your message and also your branding, your logo, that it really is something that is activating on the soul level. It activates not only your soul, but everyone who is like a soul mate client of yours, or just like a soul aligned client that is like destined from the God world, from this inner paradise sanctuary that is exactly needing your codes, your medicine, is going to be able to like recognize this, signs and this symbology of your soul aligned legacy blueprint. Because the soul aligned, like basically the soul blueprints that we hold in our field, they are like the higher dimensional, or like the divinely highest aligned logo. That's what I realized. So like being able to actually see and uncover this through oracular gifts creates such a huge momentum and higher magnetism for you to have more clarity, and also your truly aligned, soul aligned people that are meant to receive, you know, your gifts and your teachings and activations, whatever you're holding, they are going to be able to recognize. It's like a signal that helps them really understand, like, this is their wake-up call, this is what is truly meant for them, and it really does truly accelerate in a huge way your legacy from unfolding. So that is like something that we're really proud to offer. You have a huge breakthrough with your soul's legacy clarification, branding, messaging, that it really comes from this like soul aligned, you know, really alignment with the divine will and your higher self. And this is like something that we just realized is so key to just unite both like this soul aligned king leadership, you know, just like business codes, marketing codes, strategy codes, and everything we spoke about with this divine feminine, like devotional codes, but also this oracular and magi codes to help us remove blocks, get more clarity, retrieve soul parts, and then this primordial dragon creation aspects that know that are just so deeply entwined with the inner knowing of their divinity, that, you know, this whole blossoming of this soul legacy is just unstoppable. So yeah, we're really just so excited that it's the first time for us to merge all of these gifts that we hold and we've been cultivating over the years, you know, to put them all together to create like the most basically full spectrum offer we've ever done, and to support you in all the ways for this like multidimensional and hierogamic approach to true lasting wealth creation and legacy building.
Divine union legacy. It's when you prioritize through your interconnection to God's source that which the highest intelligence wants for you over what your ego wants, in trusting that what you truly want will come when you do so. Prioritizing your search for your partner, instead of prioritizing your search for a partner or for anything else, you prioritize your deep devotion to following your divine union legacy path of anchoring what God's source wants for you, trusting that your desire for partnership will come in divine timing as you do so. This is really key to becoming fully magnetic, to really doing that. And I'm really, really excited for you. I want to share with you some details of this training. We're going to be meeting over the course of 16 weeks, 12 times. So it's going to be 3 weeks per month. And then we're going to have a 1-week integration break each month. And so we'll begin on February 15th. And so we'll have the last 3 weeks of February. Then we'll take a break the first week of the month, and the last 3 weeks of March, April, and May. And so this is going to be the time that we're going to build up and go through the most powerful transformational experience of our lives. We're really certain that this is going to be life-changing. This is going to really anchor in that which we've been waiting so long to not only become, but really create and step into something, step into the fearless embodiment of who we are in a way that creates such a strong magnetism to all that we desire. And we're going to really give our all to this. Normally when I work with clientele, it's between 5,000 and 13,000 a month. When I work with my entrepreneurial clients, or any type of clients for that matter, that's been my price for a few years. And when we do group programs, it's an opportunity to get into the container and receive our full support. And we still work with individuals within the group field, within the group. So as we do the training, we're still going to have opportunities to do one-on-one focused assessment of you and what you're working on as well. And so for those who are interested in joining this training, we have a special for you today, and then for the next 96 hours until the end of the weekend. So until midnight, Sunday, midnight, PST. Normally, it would be 7,700 for this 4-month immersion. However, for these 96 hours, these 4 days, we're going to drop the price to 3,300 if paid in full, or even to make it accessible, we'll offer a payment plan, a couple options, and for those who really need to receive kind of support to make this accessible, we have the payment plan of 333 per month for 12 months. And so ultimately, this is our early bird special through the weekend. This will save you 4,400 if you do the full pay, or around 3,700 for the payment plan. And this is going to be just off the charts course. And on top of this, we're going to offer you, for those who sign up in this time period, over 10K in bonuses. I feel like some of the previous courses we've done have been really powerful. Our Divine Union Alchemy course, which we sell as a home study for 1,500, is going to be included, and that's really beautiful foundational teachings and quantum healings. That's really powerful. My Voice of the Magi course, which is part of my legacy project that I committed to before I met Saskia, about how to open your voice, how to enter into flow state, and how to clear some of the voice blocks. It's a 2K course. I'm going to offer that as well as my Soul Influence course, which takes Voice of the Magi one step further into preparing for your entrepreneurial path. It's another 2K course. And then the Soul Aligned Business course, which is a 5K training I did, which contains a lot of keys into how to map out your offers as a coach, healer, guide, leader, and develop your promotional plan, marketing plan, sales plans, etc. for your business while keeping in integrity with your soul. And so that's over 10K in bonuses that we're going to offer. And one more thing that we were inspired to do is the first 3 people who sign up for this course and pay in full will get a one-on-one session with Saskia and myself together. We'll be with you on an hour call to really go deep into whatever you want and to help to bring up your legacy and create a breakthrough and track the timeline that's in the way of the next phase of your life. These breakthrough sessions are valued at 2,500. So that's another bonus for the first 3 people who sign up. And after these 3 spots are taken, there'll be another 3 sessions for those who sign up. So the first 6 people will get a session. The first 3 will get a session with both of us. And then the next 3 will get a session with Saskia. So those are the details of 10K in bonuses. First 6 people who sign up in the next 96 hours get a session either with both of us or with Saskia. And after these 96 hours, the price goes back up. We will transparently offer another special to join the training right before it starts, but the price at that time is going to be 5K. We're never going to drop the price back to 3,300. That's just for this initial early bird time frame, because we love to reward those who answer the call and make bold alignments to the calling, if it is the call. So it's really about us inviting you to tune in if you get a yes from your higher self. And that's simple as it is. Is it meant to be? Is this container something that your spirit is guiding you to be in which case, ask the support to make it possible, and then connect with us if you would like our support to help you to make it possible if you got the yes. And if you have any specific questions, or sometimes there's an inner resistance you would like our support or feedback to help you overcome, to really know if it's right for you, feel free to reach out to us either on Facebook or send to us an email at divineunionalchemy@gmail.com. And we're happy to connect with you and to support you in tuning in if it's right for you, supporting you to move through any discomfort of taking the initiation, because we know that those who step into this container are going through a beautiful transformation, and there's sometimes maybe aspects of self that sense that it's going to be the ending of those sabotage patterns, the ending of the procrastination patterns in certain aspects might resist. And so we honor that and we know that, and we hold space for all aspects of you, the doubts, the fears, and the inner knowing, and are here to support you in answering the call of your yes and making it through any aspect that would hold you back from fully going forward. We're here for you. We're really, really stoked. And yes, we'll offer the link in the chat for those who want to sign up. Here is, oh, I'm going to put it for everybody. There it is. So it begins on Thursday, February 15th at 9 a.m. EST. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit earlier for PST people, but waking up early is great. 6 a.m. PST, 9 a.m. EST, 4 p.m. Swiss. It's going to be evening in Australia, early evening, depending on the location, and it's going to be 10 p.m. Bali time. This is when our baby will be in bed, and it'll be, around 90 minutes to a couple hours, and sometimes we go over, but there will always be recordings for those who can't make it, or for the full duration. You can always come back around and do the recordings. This is the best time for those in the different time zones to be able to join live, and it is going to go through May. And let me see here. Yes. Let me put in our email for those who want to reach out to us for a consult or to connect live. We're happy to connect with you. And does anyone have any questions about the program, about the training, or have any anything that you would like to tune into with us at this moment? You feel free to share.
Thank you so much, Christian.
And Bonetta. We're really delighted to be able to create this. We're really excited for this group. Love you all. And we look forward to seeing those of you who are called into this container and connecting very soon with you. We appreciate you. We believe in you. And we'll connect soon.
Deepest gratitude to all of you for being here. And we hope for those who it's truly soul aligned to continue working with you and see you in this incredible container. Divine Union Legacy. All our love.
All our love. Aloha.